Hi everyone, I'm Jay and this is the Camden Stick. I just thought I'd come on for a little chat, tell you what I've been up to, show you what I've been working on. As you can see, the mannequin is naked, and that's because my last sewing project has been a bit of a fail. So at the moment it's here being unpicked. I shall pop in this photograph of what it looked like when I finished it last night, and you can see it's like the ghost of a Victorian child mixed with a tablecloth. And I don't quite know how that happened. I absolutely love gingham, and I was so excited for this yellow gingham dress, and I decided to use the mirror pattern by Fibre Mood. And as you know, if you've seen that video, I've made several of these dresses already. I absolutely love the style of them. So I don't quite know how this one went wrong. It was a little bit too short when I put the second tier on it, so I decided to put a third tier on and put this deep broderie anglais frill on as well. And I don't know, I don't mind things being extra, but they've got to work, and it just looked kind of weird on me. I also put these, I've lost the bodice. That might not be a bad thing. I put these little frill sleeves on the shoulders, and they just look like weird ears. So I don't quite know what's going on with that. Anyway, rest assured, I will make it into something nice. It will come away beautiful because I love the fabric. Fabric was free, so it doesn't matter if I mess it up. But I love the fabric, and I've lined it all, so it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. Just stick with me on this one. I have had an awful few days, I'm afraid. Mentally, things have not been good. Saturday was so Southampton, and if you follow other vlogs, you might have seen sort of, you know, footage and excitement, and I was so looking forward to it, and I shouldn't have gone. It was really, really difficult. I don't normally travel on my own. My carer comes with me, Mr. Ian, but he had the opportunity to go to, it was one of his friends' 40th birthday, and because I've been feeling so much better lately, I said, oh, you know, I'll be fine, you go. I was meeting Laura, Specky Seamstress Laura, on the train, so Ian dropped me off the train, so I was only on my own for a little bit, and then Laura got on the train, and that kind of should have been fine, but I was just not. It's very difficult to describe my kind of mental health difficulties, and people that if you say that you're anxious, people think that it's just kind of, oh, we all suffer anxiety. But I think when you've got a mood disorder, like a lot of illnesses, it's a spectrum, and unfortunately my anxiety is basically worse than general anxiety because I've got a mood disorder, so everything's heightened, and my coping mechanisms aren't as good. You know, the way that my brain is wired is not as good for dealing with it. So for instance, I sort of have a lot of feelings of paranoia, or feelings of wanting to hurt myself, or feelings of unreality, and things can escalate quite quickly. And unfortunately, as we were on our way there, I was feeling very much like that, and I wanted to go home. But when you're with somebody else, I mean, don't get me wrong, Laura's lovely, and we were having a nice chat, but you know, part of me was on autopilot, and then there was a big part of me that was saying, just get off the train, get on the other platform, go back to London. Anyway, I didn't, and I was so sorry because there were so many lovely people there who watched this vlog, and I really would have liked to have met you all, but to be honest, I just found the whole experience overwhelming. I was chatting to Kate and Lynn. Hiya, Kate and Lynn, and I really wanted to chat to you and get to know you and hang out with you and just like be my best self. And unfortunately I just wasn't very well, so I left around lunchtime and got a train back and came home, and you know, I was okay once I got home. these things happen, and I have to kind of not make a drama out of a crisis. I just have to basically contain that experience and say, okay, well, that was it, and now you're home and everything's fine, so do some nice sewing or relax on the sofa, and tomorrow's a new day. And I am, you know, for the most part able to do that. I was a little bit shaken on the Saturday, but by Sunday I got up, started sewing my egg yolky disgrace of a gown, but you know, I'm back to normal. So that is kind of my news, but I did pick up a few things at Sew Southampton, so I'm going to show you those. I got a few patterns. I've got this jumpsuit which I've been after for ages. I think I may have had it before, but in the wrong size, and I just think it's a really great sort of summery jumpsuit, and you can make it in jersey fabric, so I'm quite excited about making that one. And I think that one was from Lynn, so thank you, Lynn. Then I got some vintage patterns which I think were donated by Laura Longland. Hello, Laura. This lovely coat with this shift dress, and yeah, you can make the coat with longer sleeves. I really like the style of that. So the coat's got princess seams. I can't show you it, there's no line drawings on the back of the packet, there's just pictures of the pattern piece. I really like the style of that. It's got a little mandarin collar. And then this one, which is very like One Simplicity, re-released as one of their vintage ones. I don't know if it's the same jacket, but this little jacket here, again with a mandarin collar, which I do really like. And then this dress, which is just a waisted dress, which I wouldn't use the pattern for. I just use my bodice that fits me to make that. But I love that. I think that's just such a stylish outfit. And this woman's, another one with a mandarin, with a stand-up collar. This Women's Weekly one, and I particularly like that view with like the funnel neck collar and the yoke that goes across. I love a yoke on a dress. The instructions look interesting. Let's see what they're like. And then finally I got this one, which I have been after for ages because I love a sailor collar, and I love this double collar, and you can wear it as a blouse, or I think that's the dress version. But yeah, I really love that, and I think I had my eye on that on eBay and I missed it in the auction, so I'm so chuffed to have picked that one up. I don't know actually if it's still in print, so I like that one. Since I learnt to pattern cut a little bit, not very much, but I have been a little bit more intent on not exactly drafting my own patterns, but working from my own blocks rather than starting to make a pattern from scratch and then try and make that fit me. So if I made one of these, I would basically nick the collars and the facings and draft them onto my block that I've got, and start from there rather than start trying to make a new pattern fit me. That's going to be like my modus operandi for going forward. I've got a dartless block and a darted block that both have a great fit, so that's a really good starting point. And obviously, like, I've learned how to transfer the darts and things like that, so hopefully I will be able to start making things that fit better. Which reminds me, I need to tell you what I'm wearing. I know that where the camera is makes it look like I'm not wearing very much. I am wearing a jumpsuit, and I shall pop in some pictures. Those are lovely little square, but it just looks like I'm showing you my boobs. Those are the little square buttons. This jumpsuit is made out of a vintage sheet that I bought on eBay. I got a set of two, so I got two double flat sheets, so I've still got another whole double sheet, which I think I'll probably sell, because how much sort of greeny yellow patterned floral fabric does a girl need? But it was absolutely perfect. So this jumpsuit is, the bodice is the Jessica dress. I made the straps, I cut them on the fold so that each strap was double, and that was the length that I got, which is the right length to tie it. I mean, they haven't got very long things hanging down, but that's okay. That would annoy me actually if they were any longer than that. Yeah, so I made tie straps, and I'm wearing this with a strapless bra. the bodice fits brilliant. Now I've faffed about so much with it. And the trousers are the trousers from the Vogue, I think it's V9075 jumpsuit, the ones that have big pleats in, that I made before out of African wax print, and I haven't worn that jumpsuit at all, just not me. It's going to get donated, so if you want it, let me know. But what I did is, instead of putting the pleats in, I just gathered the trousers. So I was a bit worried about how voluminous it would look, but I like it. I think it's worked really well, and I think that I would definitely use this kind of this jumpsuit combination to make another jumpsuit. I don't know, I think jumpsuits are maybe a little bit more versatile than dress, but let me know if you like it. What if you were going to make one, what sort of fabric would you use? I've got some broderie anglais, I've got some in navy cotton, and I've got some poly cotton in black. But the thing that's putting me off making them in that, it means I've got to fully line them, because obviously broderie anglais you can see through. Which reminds me, these trousers, I part lined them with a pale beige colour that's close to the colour of my skin. Cotton, I don't know if you call it batiste, or I don't know how is it pronounced, voile or voile? So I got some of that in like a pale beige colour, and I cut the upper part of the trousers, so basically like shorts, and then I interlined the trouser pattern pieces. So basically the top level of these have got a little lining, and I thought that might help with summer sweaty bum syndrome. I don't know if anybody else suffers from that, or if I've just publicly embarrassed myself. Anyway, I'm pleased to report it does help a lot with summer sweaty bum syndrome, and also hides like knicker lines and stuff, which always annoys me when you get dressed and you just start to leave the house, you turn around and you can see your pants through what you're wearing, and then you have to get changed, take everything off and get different pants on. So yeah, I part lined these, and I just thought that interlining them, so I just sewed them, I just attached them, basted them onto the top of the pattern pieces. I overlocked the bottom edge so that it wouldn't fray, and then just assembled the jumpsuit as usual. And yeah, it worked really well. You must make sure it's something thin, otherwise the fabric won't gather properly and you'll have too much bulk. Right, okay, so that is what I'm wearing. I've shown you my patterns that I picked up at Sew Southampton, and I also picked up a bit of fabric in the swap to donate some fabric as well. I got some of this. It's ridiculous. I got 5 meters of this. I've just realised this is still damp. It's been drying for days, but there's so much of it. I got this wonderful dogtooth cotton. Well, you know that I'm a sucker for big dogtooth anyway. And when I saw this in the swap, it was just as I was leaving, and I was like, well, this will cheer me up getting this. And it is, I think it's from Colville, but it was donated by Alex Pratt, who is on Instagram at Gingerhead & Co. And she's a lovely person, and I really like her, and she's somebody that I met briefly at Sew Southampton and really wanted to chat and get to know better. But yeah, she donated all this black and white fabric, and to be honest, I would have split it with somebody, but I was just leaving and there wasn't really time, and I didn't want to just take some scissors to it. But if you want 2.5 meters of dogtooth jersey, I will split it with you if you pay my postage. Just let me know. I think I'm going to use this to make, I've got a big 4 pattern that I will pop a photograph of it if I can find it, and it's basically like the Colette Moneta dress, and I've wanted to make that for ages because I've got a few cotton jerseys that are suitable for it, and I've never got around to making it, so this would be perfect. And there's so much, you know, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake or anything, because obviously you can replace it. There's plenty here. I also got this curtain, which is ridiculous. It's from Georgia Asda, and it's a bit kitsch with the polka dots and the roses, the pink roses and the bows, but I very much like it, and I picked it up with my sewing sister, Laura the Specky Seamstress. She picked up the other curtain, so we have one each. There's about 2 meters in this curtain. So I'm very interested to see what we're both going to make with it. I'm sure it'll be something very different. I don't know. I mean, it is kind of crying out, screaming to be a girly dress. I just realised I hadn't been wearing my mic and I've been waving fabric around and probably been hurling it over the mic, so sorry about that. It's crying out to be a girly dress, but I don't want to make something obvious with it. So the obvious thing to do would be like to make a girly dress, and I think that I want to make something not obvious. So I might make the Tilly Buttons Megan dress, or the vintage dress that I've been going on about for a while, which was in my What's in My Sewing Box vlog, but I'll show you that dress now. I might make that 60s style dress in it. But I just feel it would be lovely to put some contrast, like pink polka dot fabric in, wouldn't it? I don't know. And then finally, I got this, which I don't know who donated it, but whoever you are, you're very generous, because I think it's the most beautiful fabric. It might look a bit similar to the one that I've been sewing with today, because it is a yellow gingham, but it's actually seersucker gingham, and it's beautiful quality. It feels like 100% cotton, and I just think it's beautiful. And there's 2 meters there, maybe a little bit more than, it might be 2.5 meters, but certainly enough to make something beautiful with. I don't know what I make, but I've got a feeling I might do something that's got shirring in. I really fancy something with shirring in. If you see I shall pop a picture in of the seamwork Carter dress, and that has a sheared waist and a square neckline, and I might make that with this. But I know that Abby, the crafty pin-up, is currently making a red gingham dress, and I'm really interested to see what she makes with that, because I might copy her with my yellow gingham. So that's what I got from Sew Southampton. Right, I am gonna go now, and I'm gonna film a vlog about this bird, which is going to be very ungrumpy because I'm very excited about it. So you can excitedly anticipate the new vlog looking at the new Birder magazine. That will be out soon. It has been lovely spending time with you today. I hope it hasn't been too hideous spending time with this grumpy bugger. I shall speak to you again soon. I very much hope that you will click the thumbs up, and you will press the subscribe, and you'll press the ding ding bell, and I shall see you very soon. Bye. I very much hope that you will click the ding ding and click, that was rubbish.